Second and last day of my quick pre-Christmas trip, and what do you know? The sun came out. Just a couple of days before, the temperatures were much lower and the weather was so bad that planes could not land. And in about 48 hours time, I believe that the temperatures went up a good 10 degrees Celsius, that is. So at some point, as the clouds cleared the sky, I was actually under direct sunlight, which was amazing for this time of the year, especially because I wasn't really expecting to bathe in the sun at any point, considering that I knew what kind of weather I was getting into when I was getting ready to fly. The session was again pretty basic, so I decided to stick to a pulling exercise and a pushing exercise, and in between I was going to be doing some leg stuff the same way that I did the previous day, so some bodyweight squats and some good mornings as well. It all became a big giant set like the day before. I believe this is probably the best way to handle these things, especially when you throw in some lower body exercises in between. So in resting from antagonistic upper body movements, such as what I was doing in here, tuck rows on rings, and eccentrics on the handstand push-up, it just felt natural to throw in a couple of lower body exercises just to keep the body warm and just keep the flow in, really. The handstand push-ups I was doing only as a every minute on the minute, one repetition. So I was doing one of these and then jumping into the next exercise. Then in about a minute or so, I was ready to do another rep. So I ended up doing 10 repetitions of these, two sets of 5 per set, and in between each repetition I was getting in another exercise, which ended up being a very timely, efficient manner to handle this. For this second giant set, I was lucky enough to get some sunlight, direct sunlight, and I started actually feeling quite warm. That shirt over there, it's somewhat heavy, and I started sweating. So I thought it would be good to just take the shirt off, not to show off in any way. There's nothing to show off, but just to get some direct sunlight. Not that at this time of the year, there's any chance of me to get some vitamin D, because from what I've learned and read, it's just not the time of the year where the sunbeams are at an angle that allows the body to produce vitamin D. The frequencies are not high enough. It's not potent enough to stimulate that kind of hormonal production, but it does feel good to be in the sun anyways. So it was just a quick session. It took about 40 minutes. I was getting two sets in of each of these giant sets, and as I was keeping the flow going, it all went very quickly. In the end, I felt like I was doing enough work, so I kind of had to stop, because it felt really good to be outside in the sun after a couple of miserable days, especially the one when I got stuck in various forms of transportation for more than I would have liked. So that was the end of the session. I ended up doing 10 repetitions of the eccentrics for the handstand push-ups. They were looking okay. Maybe I should be engaging the core a bit more, allowing the legs to put myself basically in a slightly hollow body position as I am going down. In a similar way with the pull-ups, I feel like that sort of position is the strongest that I can be in, and it's just about a matter of teaching the body to feel that position and get comfortable in there. But it was a good session and beautiful weather. Ciao.